you have Uber, their earnings were not well received. But I think that is a mistake. So they did beat the Zacks estimates. And the revenues from delivery segment increased 18% year over year. And then looks like this was their freight. Okay, their freight revenues were $1.26 billion, down 2% year over year. That definitely looks bad. But my theory here, things are going to change for them because Aurora, that is their main, they've invested heavily in Aurora. And they've already announced last week, launched its commercial self-driving trucking service in Texas. Deployment autonomous freight transportation between Dallas and Houston. So that will be talked about at Aurora's earnings tomorrow. I think this is going to be the Wall Street Journal one. They're going to say, reported first quarter profit. Oh, that's the other thing. Uber, this is like the first two earnings where they've been profitable. First quarter profit, 1.78, significant improvement from a loss in the same period the previous year. This profit was driven 14% year-over-year increase in gross bookings, which totaled $42.98 billion, fueled by heightened demand for rides on its digital taxi service. So the rise in trips, I could see trips rising, especially with tariffs and the economy. It could be hard for people to get cars, so maybe people might start being more reliant on Uber. But the other part, I think the Aurora thing is going to be big because solid reflected slowdown compared to prior quarters. Well, I think people are so wrong. Okay, now, here's their strategic partner with Aurora Innovations, which launched its commercial trucking driverless service in Texas in April 2025. That is literally Uber Freight, one of Aurora's launch customers alongside Hirschbach Motor Lines, is leveraging Aurora's SAE Level 4 autonomous Aurora driver system for freight deliveries between and plans to expand. Think about all the expansions that are going to take place. If this is just in this little part of Texas, deep in the heart of Texas, I think that this is big potential, especially if their trucking is what has fallen short. That's the reason their trucking has been falling short, because they've been investing in Aurora to get this happening. This is going to be so big for Uber, and I think people are wrong here. Wrong. Well, it's looking like they realize that because Uber has been rising. We'll see how they do. But they dropped on these earnings. And then, dude, you got Aurora. I'm very bullish on this guy. Very much so. And their earnings are tomorrow.